Chinx Drugz, born Lionel Dufon Pickens on December 4, 1983, grew up in the Far Rockaway section of Queens, New York City. He lived in both Redfern houses and Edgemere houses, two housing projects in the area. Chinx's early life was marked by poverty and violence, which would later influence his music. He started rapping in junior high school and began taking music seriously in the 9th grade. Chinx's friends called him Chinky, which eventually became his stage name, Chinx Drugz. Music career. Early career and Riot Squad. Chinx's music career began when he joined the group Riot Squad alongside fellow rapper Stack Bundles. The group gained local recognition, but their momentum was halted when Stack Bundles was shot and killed in 2007. Chinx continued to pursue a music career, eventually joining French Montana's Coke Boys Records. Coke Boys Records and mixtapes. Chinx's big break came when he joined French Montana's Coke Boys Records. He gained recognition for his appearances on Coke Boys mixtapes and the Cocaine Riot series. Some notable mixtapes include Hurry Up and Die series, a series of mixtapes that showcased Chinx's raw talent and street sensibility. Volume 1, Get Ya Casket On, 2009. Volume 2, From the Cage to the Stage, 2010. Volume 3, 2010, Flight 2011, a mixtape entirely produced by Harry Fraud, which further showcased Chinx's lyrical ability. Cocaine Riot series, a series of mixtapes that Chinx appeared on alongside other Coke Boys members. Cocaine Riot 2011. Cocaine Riot 2, 2012, featuring Action Bronson and Chevy Woods. Cocaine Riot 3, 2013, featuring Ace Hood, Juicy J, and Yo Gotti. Style and influences. Chinx's music style was heavily influenced by his life growing up in the projects. His lyrics often reflected the harsh realities of life in the inner city, including poverty, violence, and crime. Chinx's raw, unapologetic style earned him a reputation as one of the most promising young rappers in New York City. Death and legacy. Murder. Tragically, Chinx's life was cut short when he was killed in a drive-by shooting on May 17, 2015, in Jamaica.
It's been nearly 6 months since Chinx's murder. Tonight his killer is still on the loose, and now there are growing concerns his death will become yet another unsolved hip-hop mystery. But it's not because the cops aren't trying.
Got your back to back all in Ferraris. Know you lick you with young Abu Dhabi. Don't you worry, girl, I'm on your body.
Chinx's big New York fan base expanded nationally after he was signed to French Montana's Coke Boys record label. On the morning of May 17, 2015, he was shot and killed in his Porsche, his passenger wounded. So far, no one's been arrested. Former NYPD Detective Derek Parker showed me a private book he's kept of more than 50 unsolved hip-hop murders. He hopes Chinx won't be one of them.
It tells me that the police department probably has no new information or no evidence to go forward with the case. It's probably hit a wall.
Initially, Chinx's critically wounded passenger, 27-year-old Antar Al-Ziadi, was helping investigators, but law enforcement sources tell me he stopped cooperating.
Well, Stephen Derry, the last person to see Chinx alive was his friend Antar Al-Ziadi. He was in the passenger seat when the bullets flew, and he wants everyone to know he's doing everything he can to help find the gunman who murdered his friend and nearly killed him.
Feeling very devastated. I'm really hurt. I'm really angry that we can't find the killer.
The bullet holes in Chinx's Porsche show the viciousness of the drive-by shooting that took his life on May 17th. One of those bullets struck 27-year-old Antar Al-Ziadi and pierced his lung. He believes Chinx shielded him and may even have saved his life.
A drive-by passed and ambushed us and started shooting up the car. I got shot, and when I got shot, I went down, and he jumped on top of me and took the rest of the shots. I got shot like 1 time. He got shot probably like 7 to 8 times.
I spoke with Antar in the Harlem deli his family owns. He works there part-time and is also a music promoter affiliated with French Montana's Coke Boy music crew. He goes by the name Coke Boy Yemen and was a close friend of Chinx. Police sources say he stopped cooperating, but Antar says he gave investigators everything he knows.
What did they ask you, and what did you tell them?
They asked me everything that went down. I told them when I went down. I basically don't know nothing. I'm a victim. I didn't see anything. Like, I told them everything they need to know. Like, what you want me to keep going back and forth to them, tell them the same stories?
He says there was no third person in the Porsche, as was reported, and that Chinx was on his way home at the time. Police believe Chinx was the intended target. Antar knows some people blame him for the tragedy, even though he was a victim too.
I'm feeling very stressed out. I mean, a lot of people blame me for his death. I'm really going through a lot, and look where I'm at. I'm in the store where I usually be at. I'm not, I'm just trying to make it, and trust me, hopefully, and God willing, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out who did it, because everything do come to the light. It's always gonna be long-lived Chinx. I don't care what people think.
He was 31 years old at the time of his death. The murder was reportedly motivated by a 6-year grudge between Chinx and the shooter, Quincy Homer. Homer was jealous of Chinx's rising music career and had previously threatened him. Investigation and trial. The investigation into Chinx's murder was led by the NYPD's 113th Precinct Detective Squad. Quincy Homer was eventually arrested and charged with Chinx's murder.
Quincy Homer was sentenced to 23 years in prison. Prosecutors say he shot and killed Chinx while he was sitting in his car. Fox 9's Linda Schmidt is at Queens Criminal Court, where the sentence was just handed down. And Linda, Chinx's family was there for this.
Yeah, and his wife, by the way, was emotional in court today. You're going to hear from her in just a few minutes. But first of all, prison is going to be this suspect's home for at least the next couple of decades. He is accused of killing a rapper from Queens who was on the rise, and he did it out of jealousy. Go ahead and take a look at this. Quincy Homer in Queens Criminal Court today, where he was sentenced for killing rapper Chinx, whose real name is Lionel Pickens Jr. Now, Homer choosing to wear a face mask for his sentencing today. He had pled guilty to first-degree manslaughter. Now, this is a previous video of him in court without a face mask. He was sentenced to 23 years in prison for killing Chinx. Chinx was sitting in his luxury car, stopped at a red light when Homer fired multiple shots into his car back in 2015. Chinx was married and the father of 3 children. His wife pushed for justice for her husband since he was murdered back in 2015. She spoke in court today, as I said earlier, and so did the shooter.
I'd like to express my condolences to the family and anyone else who was affected with what happened here. I don't believe there's words that can express the way I feel about what transpired here.
I was told I had 2 minutes to say goodbye. Holding his mother's hand, watching his lifeless body, praying and crying for him to wake up. A mother has to bury her son. At the age of 28, I became a widow. My children, who were 15, 11, and 4, are now without a dad.
And his wife, she got emotional in court today. She got teary-eyed when sitting right next to the person who murdered her husband, again, back in 2015. By the way, on top of his sentence today, Homer is already serving time in prison for armed robbery.
In 2019, Homer was sentenced to 23 years in prison for the crime. Legacy. Chinx's music legacy lives on, and his widow, Janelle Caceres Pickens, continues to work with the NYPD to keep his memory alive. Chinx's posthumous album, Welcome to JFK, was released with the single, On Your Body. The album features collaborations with other notable rappers, including French Montana and Jadakiss. Chinx's music continues to be celebrated by fans and fellow artists alike, and his impact on the hip-hop world is still felt today. Impact and influence. Chinx's music had a significant impact on the hip-hop world, particularly in New York City. His raw, unapologetic style influenced a generation of young rappers, and his legacy continues to be felt in the music industry. Chinx's story serves as a reminder of the harsh realities of life in the inner city and the importance of pursuing one's passions despite adversity.